See, God created you perfect. God didn't make any mistakes with you. God didn't create the damage nor the facade. And God knows who and what your potential is. And your potential far exceeds what your facade considers to be.
Yep.
And your potential far exceeds, and it has the ability to overcome every tiny piece of damage that's ever been done to you, is able to be overcome the way God's designed your soul. God didn't make a mistake designing your soul. And so God has created this beautiful being that has the ability to conquer all sin within it. We all have this innate ability, if we engage it with God, to conquer all sin, conquer all error. And once we do that and realise that, and we have that kind of trust and faith in God and what God's created, then we won't be so adverse to discovering our true self. But at the moment, many of us don't believe those things, and we are very adverse to discovering our true self because we're petrified that our true self is even worse than our damaged self. And that is a physical impossibility for our true self to be worse than our damaged self.
We also fear, we also have this feeling, I know for myself, my facade self wants to create this life where I feel safe and comfortable. And as I think Rob mentioned yesterday, when sometimes we connect to our real self, it has these huge desires that trigger all of our fears, and we go, no, God, you didn't create me perfect. I can do it better. I know what's going to make me happier, instead of recognising that it's just a fear in my damaged self that's preventing my real self from being happier than I can possibly imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the amount of pain in a reincarnated soul far exceeds by factors of hundreds the amount of pain in a person in their first incarnation. And the reason for that pain for a reincarnated soul is a lot about the loss. You cannot imagine the loss. It's impossible for anybody who's not reincarnated to imagine the extent of the loss that you experience coming back to an earth in its current state. Now, in the future, it may be different. But now, coming back to the earth in its current state, the loss is so intense, and yet God created the soul with the ability to even release from itself that amount of extreme pain. So that should give every person the confidence that any amount of pain that's within you can be released if you engage this process that God has designed for your soul to engage.